Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Check, walk 54, walk 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 9, check 9.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Check.
From the 38, Mayfield. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. 7 yards there and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield on play action. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Taywan Taylor, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. The toss play to Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what was
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. The Browns drive about to get started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first down, it's Hunt, and some room to work. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Alert, 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 alert.
Now Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Jackson from the shotgun. He gets this one to Boyd. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Set. He took the outlaw.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They
On third down, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, D.
This is Hunt. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Buying time to his left. That's taken in by Callaway. And they move this all the way down to the 9. The end result, 21 yards. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Good. 180. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. This carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, but not much room to operate. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A Bengal first down on a 16-yard pickup there.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 44-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Know your job. Echo. 56.
Now Jackson. Catch made by Slayton. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. First and 10 right at the 20. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Jackson now off the bootleg. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Again, it's Mixon, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Jackson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery, able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, hold on. Check 53 is mine. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
After the interception, here's Jackson. That's complete to Slayton. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick. But let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. 3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Jackson. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
We're ready. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. There's a party now. Whoa.
Jackson on first down. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw is Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Larry Ogunjobi able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun to give to Mixon. And an alley to run. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
56. Mike.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Open man is Uzama. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
They run again with Hunt. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Mayfield to throw it. He finds Beckham, complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and with the offensive line.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Give him 30 yards there. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll run it here with Hunt. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Eric Armstead with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And the Bengals first down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go, G. Hey, just up.
On 2nd down now. It's Anderson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cleveland, the win.